Hi class, this is Mrs. Oyster, and I'm going to do a short video to show you what I want you to do for your writing project this week. So your paragraph is a narrative, which means it's a story. Now, what's fun about that is you get to be creative and to come up with all kinds of fun ideas. What's a little more tricky is it may not just be one paragraph. It might be several paragraphs because as you are organizing your story, you may end up separating it into different paragraphs. You'll see what I mean when I show you mine. So here's the prompt. You are playing your favorite video game and suddenly you get transported inside the game. What do you see? What is happening inside your game? Write a short story about what happens next. Now, if you do not play video games at all, if there's any of you out there, you are welcome to do it as if you get transported inside your favorite book or you're reading a book. So you can choose book if you want, but I thought a lot of you might enjoy doing the video game. So you have to remember, I'm old, and so when I was little, the video games that I grew up playing was Super Mario Brothers, the original with the little tiny rectangular controller. So I came up with some ideas of what might happen if I got transported inside Mario. Now, it's been a long time since I played it, so I asked Owen to help me with some of the characters' names. He told me that these are the names. Hopefully, I got them right. So, what I came up with for brainstorming was Mario, Koopas, Paracoopas, Goombas, Piranha Plants get to the end of the level before, oops, that's supposed to say before, time is up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking for my story. I know that since it's a paragraph, it needs to have 5 to 8 sentences. Mine has a lot more. You need to have a hook at the beginning to grab your reader's attention. It's a little different than a topic sentence, like for informational paragraph. You are actually trying to grab your reader's attention because you're telling them a story. You'll have details and description and a conclusion sentence. So over here on the right-hand side, before I read you mine, is the structure of your narrative. You're going to have a beginning, a lead, or something to grab your reader's attention. At least 3 events. So event 1 with some elaboration and description, event 2 with some elaboration and description, event 3 with some elaboration and description, and then an ending. And so as you'll see with mine, it's not real clear, like here's event 1, here's event 2, here's event 3. It's kind of all mixed together, but I did want you to make sure you have at least 3 things that happen in your story. Okay, so I decided to start my beginning with dialogue. Dialogue is a strategy you can use to kind of grab your reader's attention because it forces them to get to know your character. It just throws you right in the story. So I wrote like this. Oh, fiddlesticks, I shouted. My character Mario had died again from falling into a deep pit of nothingness. I will never pass this level. So that's my beginning. So then I'm going to start my story. I sighed and prepared to try again when suddenly the room around me seemed to swirl, and the edges of everything became fuzzy. I barely had time to wonder what is going on before the scenery around me changed and I was in a completely different world. I had somehow been transported into the Super Mario Brothers world that I was currently trying to beat. So there's my event 1. All right, here's event 2. Suddenly a voice from the skies thundered, "Reach the end of the level in order to find your way back home." Great. I could barely beat the level as a player, and now I had to beat it as a contestant? Well, there was nothing to do but start running. So that's kind of my second event. I ran for several yards before I saw a green shell with an odd long neck and a face attached coming my way. The Koopa Troopas. I took a deep breath, increased my speed, and ran towards the Koopa before leaping over the top of it. I made it. A little further on, I saw the telltale green pipe of the piranha flower. I remembered that I had to wait until the flower went down before jumping on top of the pipe and over. I'm making it, I thought excitedly. So that's kind of my second description, or second event, sorry. I kept moving forward, leaping over Koopas and bottomless pits, carefully hopping over the green pipes of the piranha plants when an ominous chime began to play. I knew that sound. My time was almost up. If I didn't make it to the end of the level in time, would I be stuck here forever? I picked up the pace and sprinted forward, very nearly running into a brown mushroom-shaped Goomba that would have been certain doom. I leaped over a few more and then spotted the steep steps that signaled a flagpole on the other side. Running at full speed now, I leaped up 3 steps at a time and jumped. So those are my, I guess maybe my third and fourth events. Now this blue part is my ending. I caught the flagpole and slid down with a relieved sigh of breath. Sure enough, my surroundings began to blur and spin, and before I could wonder what was happening, I was back in my living room, sprawled on the couch. I made it. I survived. I began to wonder if I should try level 2. And that's the end of my story so far. Okay, so that's actually all I'm going to write. But hold on, I wanted it to go back to the other screen. There we go. This is my draft. So as I was reading it, I heard some things that I was like, "Oh, I should probably fix that," or, "Oh, I said that word too many times." That I'll work when I fix when I do my revision. But this is just my draft. I brainstormed my ideas and I got them all down on paper. Now, I noticed as I was writing that this was a lot longer than my last paragraph. So what I did on your guys's as well is I gave you two draft screens. So you can see over here, there's two draft screens because I couldn't fit all my story on this one. I had to continue it on this one. So I gave you two draft screens. I also gave you two, well, you can't see it here, but on yours, I gave you two revision screens and two final screens. So if yours ends up being long like mine, hopefully that is enough room for you. If for some reason you need more, if you are just writing a huge long story, here's what you do. You, if it lets you, I think it'll let you. If you right click on one of the draft screens, you'll get this, and you click duplicate slide, and it will duplicate it, it'll clone it. But then what that means is if you duplicate it, everything you typed will also be duplicated. Then you just highlight all the stuff on the second slide and delete it. So if you need more slides, you can do that. And I can explain that again later if you need some help. So today your assignment is to brainstorm what you're going to write about, start your draft, and I will post a revision video tomorrow to help you tomorrow to revise and edit on Thursday and Friday. All right, guys, I hope you have fun with this. I'm so excited to read what you come up with.